I was wondering if you've had any experiences with rising Kundalini and if Kundalini awakening is a byproduct of realizing your true self. I will answer it briefly today, so we don't stretch the meeting for too long. Firstly, it must be very clear to you, to all of us, that all of those experiences, those epiphanies, those awakenings, those Kundalini breakthroughs, these are experiences in the body mind. It's usually stuck energy, blocked energy that was contained by this fake container of a separate me. Like in the meditation today, we saw that the true container is awareness, is consciousness. But with our imaginary power, with our freedom and consciousness, we create this container of a separate me. And there is a lot of energy needed to hold this separate me together. And for some, like through the Kriya Yoga that you are practicing, or just naturally, experience a huge explosion, so to speak, a huge release of this energy. When it gets released, and often these are very pleasant experiences. Unfortunately, very often there is still not full understanding when those experiences come to us. So when the experience passes, immediately the separate me, the idea of a separate me comes back, which was when it's an authentic experience, an authentic Kundalini breakthrough or any other authentic, true glimpse of ourselves. Free from the limitation of the body mind. Immediately the separate me, like the clown coming on the stage after the performance, coming in and claiming the experiencing for itself and taking the applause. I had such a, I'm awakened now, or I am enlightened, or my Kundalini is free. The commentator, the clown commentator, comes often in and claims this experience for itself. While we just discovered with Richard, this clown never experiences anything. So it's very important to see. It's like if we imagine we go to sleep and we have a dream of us. We are on the Kriya Yoga retreat and we're practicing powerful Kriya Yogic techniques. And in the dream, boom, we have this Kundalini breakthrough and all these amazing sensations that come with it. And the character in the dream, like, yeah, I made it. I got it. I am awakened. And then we wake up out of our dream, find ourselves in bed. What happened to this awakened character, to this person? Did the character in the dream awaken, or did I awaken and find myself awake again in bed? Was the character in my dream who had the Kundalini breakthrough real? Or was it just a dream experience? In other words, is the duality of me in bed and the person in my dream, is it actually true that there were two people? Or is the dream person that had this experience just an image that was created by my mind in the dream? And that's very important for you, Johann, because you come from this tradition like I did also. You'll have to see clearly, because the yogic systems are based on this reality of duality, most of them, except of Kashmir Shaivism. The apparent person is real. There is a real person that needs to, we come to Richard, to improve, to awaken, to change, to become something, to awaken. There is a reality to this separate me. It is based on this idea that the separate person does actually exist as a separate person, separate from the consciousness that is perceiving it. And if that would be true, then there would be someone who had this Kundalini experience and now has possibly shifted into something else. But here, in our understanding and in any authentic non-dual understanding, we see clearly that this separate person who had that experience never existed as a separate me, never had its own reality, that it was always just like in the dreamlike experienced by the one consciousness, like in our meditation today. That this separate me is just an idea, a bundle of thoughts, feelings, perceptions that pretends to stand out as something separate from reality, from consciousness. Most religions are based also on this idea. And then we have a lot of work to do to make this person whole and complete, which is an impossible task because it's impossible to make the illusion real. As a byproduct of many practices, we may come to this understanding, so they all have their place, which is called often the indirect path, and we might look into that another time, because Johan, I think you have a few more questions in that direction. But for now, just really see clearly, if you had, or if you will have any of those experiences, their main function, so to speak, is to bring a glimpse of understanding. In any authentic samadhi experience, there is a spark of truth, of wisdom, of jnana in them. Like Ramana Maharshi could see in his, when he was 16, he had this huge awakening experience, and he didn't come back and confuse himself for the clown that came on stage, that he's again now a separate person. He got the memo, so to speak. He just needed to get it once. That the one who awakened or had the experience was actually this infinite, eternal consciousness that just recognized or remembered its non-dual reality. And it was, in Ramana's case, the end of the person, of the illusory person. No one died. No one got transformed. He was still the 16-year-old kid. But now he had the jnana, he had the wisdom, he had the understanding that he is actually this consciousness, this awareness. And the dream person, the dream 16-year-old kid that was believing to be a person bound and limited to a body and a mind, just disappeared, like the person in the dream who practiced Kriya Yoga and got the Kundalini experience disappeared upon waking in bed.